Everyone knows that you can find a large range of cars at the auctions. Everyday commuters, modified Jap and Euro cars, full drives, the list goes on. But what about cars that you'd never expect to see anywhere near an auction yard? Well, that's exactly what I found. Cars that seem to have been abandoned for years, that you'd never know were there unless you really looked for them. I was left speechless. This thing is not okay. This is not normal. So the first car we're starting off with is this 100 series Land Cruiser. Now most of these cruisers are petrol, especially the 100 series. Most of the 105s are definitely petrol or HZ, but this one is special because of this badge right here. And you know what that means? It's got a 1HD FTE. This is a HDJ 100R. Very, very cool car. Very expensive as well. Used. So I'm interested to see what this is like. Let's head on inside. I would love one of these 100 series Land Cruisers, especially the diesel. The 1HD, I think, is one of the best diesel engines ever made, period. Not only is it made by Toyota, but it's a straight six. It's pretty simple in design and they sound great. And of course, they're very tunable and they're all basically pre-emissions. The only thing this would have is maybe an EGR because it is an FTE and not an FT, which 80 series Land Cruisers came out with. But this particular one is also a Sahara. To find a 100 series diesel is rare. To find one that's a Sahara is even rarer. These on the used market can easily fetch $50,000, even 20 years on. Like, that is crazy. You don't hear of that kind of depreciation or lack of depreciation with cars these days. But look at this thing. It's got what looks to be a steering wheel out of, I don't know, maybe a 150 Prado or something. This definitely isn't a 100 series steering wheel. Got the cruise control check. That's all there. This is, I believe, a 4 or a 5-speed auto. It's kind of hard to tell. I'm not leather, sunroof, big center console, which some of these you could get with a fridge. And this one does in fact have the fridge option. Such a cool car. I would love one of these. Boost and EGT temp gauge. We've got some other gauge here. What is this? Battery monitors. Probably has a dual battery setup. And speaking of dual battery setups, let's have a look what it actually has under the bonnet. Oh, look at that, man. This engine bay is spotless. There is literally not a speck of oil anywhere. It probably had a very good clean. You can see that beautiful 1HD FTE. And of course the FTEs are intercooled. You can see that intercooler there. And they also have electronic fuel injection rather than mechanical fuel injections, which is what the FTs had. But this not only has one battery, 2 batteries. It also has a 3rd battery, which looks like it's for a fridge. Also looks like a deep cycle battery, so it doesn't have to be charged as often. You can see that EGR. So simple though, very, very easy to block off. You could literally just keep the pipe there, put 2 blank plates on either end, mint. Look at that. Oh, I love it. This is turning into a little bit of a four-wheel drive episode, but I just can't help myself. I love 4Bs and especially really unique ones. And the one I'm standing in front of right now is pretty unique and special. Not so much unique, but special and rare. And that is a factory coil cab TD42 GU in Nissan Patrol. Get a load of this thing. Coil cabs are quite rare to see, especially factory TD42. So let's check out the inside. It's probably not going to be a whole lot going on the inside, but I've never even sat in a coil cab GU, so let's have a look. So on the inside, there's not a whole lot going on. To be honest with you, this is a manual, as you can see. Oh, very positive feeling gearbox. A bit floppy, but that's all right. Most Nissans are, but obviously this is a 5-speed. 6 speeds were quite rare back in the day, so very strong 5-speed box. I'm pretty sure these are. This also does have air conditioning. That's probably the only feature this thing has. I don't think it even has an airbag. No electric windows, probably no central locking. Honestly, there is nothing going on. There's not even a mirror. It's like my S15. My Aussie delivered S15 doesn't even have a mirror here. Don't know how many keys that this thing has. Again, I didn't see this on the website, so I couldn't have gotten the keys for it. I'd love to get the keys for this thing and start one up. This is as close to a 79 series you're gonna get, but in a patrol world. 5-speed manual, no features, overpriced, overrated. Still cool to see, but what would I rather? This or a 79 series single cab? If it was a 79 from the same year as this is probably like a 99 2000 model, maybe slightly earlier, probably the 79 because it'll have a 1HD FTE. TD42s are kind of average. They're good engines, but they just have way too many problems as compared to a 1HD. And speaking of TD42s, let's go check out this one's. Also, shout out to the two guys that just noticed me here. I was actually noticed by another fan earlier, so 3 people in one day. Shout out to you guys. If you haven't already, subscribe, like, and comment on this video. I love all your guys' support for these videos. I love making them, and I want to keep making them and eventually buy a car from here. So smash that subscribe button. So this one looks to have a slight lift on it, maybe like a 2-inch, 2.5 if I had to have a guess, maybe 3-inch, I don't know. Stock wheels, looks like it has some Dobinson springs. Ooh, it's on struts. Fancy. TD42 black top, factory black top, which means it is factory turbo, none of that silver top nonsense. It's even got a top mount intercooler. Like these things are so agricultural. They don't have good cooling. They're not very efficient. They basically just turn fuel into smoke and noise. They do sound good, but you know, there's always supporters for these everywhere. It's much like the SR20. There are a lot better engines than an SR20, but when you replace everything Nissan about an SR, they tend to be pretty good. Just like these things. You replace the crank, you replace the water pump, you replace the factory clutch fan, you replace the rods, the pistons, and they tend to be not bad. So how cool is this though? Factory coil cab, GU, TD42, 5-speed manual. Definitely would not mind one of these at all. I did spot quite a rare and unusual Toyota Prado just before I walked past it, and I had to take a closer look at it because you definitely don't see these very often. This is RZJ120R with a 2.7 litre 3RZ petrol NA engine in it. I'd say a good 95% of these ones have the 4 litre 1GR in them. But this thing is a 4-cylinder petrol, which is very, very uncommon for these. This is basically as bog standard as you're gonna get with a Prado. I wanna sit in it. First of all, this is a bit floppy, same with this. This thing has no cruise control. Also got the petrol dash there. Surprisingly, this one is also an automatic and it has air conditioning. So fun fact about these cars, my dad actually has a KDJ 120R, so the 1KD. He's had it since new and he bought it for $50,000 back then, roundabout. He had to option cruise control, air conditioning, and anti-lock brakes from factory. So I'm surprised to see such a bog standard 2.7 litre Prado with air conditioning and an automatic gearbox, because that was a $2,500 option as well. My dad's one's manual. Got these tiny little wheels. Oh, the bonnet struts are gone. Look how weird this thing looks in here. Oh my God, it looks so old as compared to a 1GR or even a KD or a KZ for that matter. KZs look out of place in 120s, but this 3RZ looks even weirder in here. It's got an old metal rocker cover, this old looking intake plenum. There you go, there's the AC compressor. Crazy. It's so weird for me to look at this thing and not see a KZ, a 1GR, or a KD. Very, very weird. I've done a lot of work on 120s. This thing is so weird to look at. I actually can't get over it how weird it looks. But these engines are so good. They love boosts. A lot of people have boosted them, especially in the single cab Hilux mini trucks. I would love one. I would actually love one of those, like a little 2-wheel drive one. It looks so weird in here. Holy crap. It's so tiny as well. Like this is the whole engine bay. Usually there's a big KD that sits in here, or 1GR, where the banks spread out to basically both chassis rails. RZJ120R Prado. How weird. So I'm just walking into the delinquency section here at the auctions, and look what I have in front of me. 2 70 series Land Cruisers. But what the hell is going on here? They're completely just destroyed. There's one troopy here, another troopy here. Like what the hell? They're completely fucked. They look like ex-mines cars that have just been dumped in the minefields. Like what on earth is going on? Oh man, look at that rust. That is munted. That is by far the worst rust I've ever seen on any car here. Holy crap. It's worse than that WB, whatever that 6-wheeled ute was from a few videos ago. Look how bad, how does it get that bad? Someone tell me in the comments. Let's have a closer look inside. I don't know if I want to touch this thing. Oh my God. It's honestly horrible. There's bloody spiders everywhere. Absolutely no words. This thing is fucked. It's just crumbling. It's not even rust at this point. It's just completely returned back to nature. Door still works. Not much left of it, but I do want to have a look under the bonnet though. Oh, the bonnet's not bolted down. Jesus. That tells me everything. If I had to hazard a guess, considering it's got a bonnet scoop, it was definitely turbo. And this looks like a little bit of a newer model. So I'm gonna have a educated guess and say it was a 1HD, just like that 100 series from before. But this one here looks like a 75 series generation. I could be completely wrong. So all you 4B nuts in the comments, please don't yell at me, but correct me if I am wrong. This was a 1HZ as well. Not as well, it was just a 1HZ. Wow, I actually cannot believe the condition these things are in. You know what, this definitely was a 1HZ. It's not old enough to be a 12H or a 2H, if they even came with 2Hs. But damn, there's even more over there. There's another one and another one. Crazy stuff. These were definitely ex-Mines cars. Like I can almost guarantee. Oh, there's so much rust the bloody fucking door won't open. Jesus Christ. Where the hell were these cars? The bloody Dead Sea in the Middle East? It looks like they were literally dropped in the bottom of the ocean, left there, since they were brand new, picked up and sent straight here. Insane, man. It's still got front and rear diffs though, so it could be worth it for some parts for someone maybe, but I don't really know how much Land Cruiser diffs are, especially considering someone that's going to spend money on a diff for their 79, 78, 76, whatever, probably want a track corrected one. And this one is a stock rear end, so the chassis on this one is completely made of rust. Like, it's unbelievable how rusty this thing is. I am absolutely lost for words at what this thing is. What the fuck is this, bro? I know it's a Hummer. I actually have no words. Is this a H1, H2? What is this thing, bro? It's got a fuel cell in the back. Look at that rear end. It says dub on the side. Is that some sort of like rare Hummer? And it looks like it has a small block underneath. I'm literally standing underneath the bonnet. Oh, I'm like squatting underneath the bonnet, but look at this. What the hell is this thing, man? That's either a big block or a small block. I can't really tell. I'm not a Chevy enthusiast. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. There's so much cool stuff today at the auctions. It's crazy. I know I can lift this bonnet up, but I don't really want to try because this thing is very mysterious. I don't want to touch it. I might get the US Marshals called on me if I screw around with this thing too much, but let's look inside. Wow, it's also right-hand drive. We never got these in Australia. We got the newer Hummers, but never these things. This thing is not okay. This is not normal. We've got a manual. I don't know what gearbox this is. I literally know nothing about Hummers. Got some gauges, volts, water temp, speed in kilometers an hour, not miles an hour, and revs, obviously. This is built for someone who's like 8 feet tall. The windscreen is plastic. This is plastic. I honestly don't have a lot of things to say today because I'm so taken aback by all the stuff that's here, all the cool stuff. The keys are in it, but there's no battery, so it's not gonna start. But let's see, you got a DVD player. What on planet Earth is this thing? What was it used for? Why does someone own this thing? Absolutely insane. The steering is not connected unless there's this much play in the steering box. So it's a Hummer H1, I think, with a small block or a big block Chev. That's right-hand drive. It's manual. I'm lost for words. I don't know what to say. This thing is sick. Got a tiny little fuel gauge there. I want to look at this thing outside again. Give me back my specs. This thing is like full army spec. Here's a better look at this motor, whatever it is. It's got an AC compressor on it, but it doesn't have air conditioning. It has no climate controls in it at all. It's got some long tube headers, a boosted clutch. Here's that steering box, which isn't connected, as you can see. Absolutely crazy car. Guys, I have something to admit. I actually placed a bid on this car and I was so close to winning it. In the last 20 minutes, someone outbid me. I placed a $9 bid on this car. I was the top bidder for like 4 days and then I got outbid the next bid up from $9. Minimum was $109 plus fees. That would have ended up being 600 something. The next bid that I had to place was $209, which would have brought this car up to almost $800. And I don't know about you guys, but this thing ain't worth 800 bucks. I was strongly considering it. I was sitting there staring at my phone and I was strongly considering placing a bid on this thing for 800 bucks because I really want to buy a car for the channel. And I think this would have been perfect, especially if I want it for $9 or even $109. I feel like my time is coming. It's very soon. If you guys see any cars that are extremely cheap located in Victoria that I should buy, email me, send me a DM on Instagram, or just leave the link in the comments and I'll check it out because I'm dying to buy a car from the auctions. It's all well and good that I'm walking around talking about them, but I need a car.